Okay, so remember that this video and the accompanying worksheet isn't due until Monday. This video is on y-intercept. So far we've spoken about linear equations and graphing them. We've spoken about vertical and horizontal lines, and we've spoken about slope. And so now we're going to talk about the y-intercept, which is the second most important part of a line, in my opinion, besides the slope. So when you look at the formula for a slope-intercept form of a line, it's y equals mx plus b. So as you go through your math career, that's going to be a very familiar formula to you. The m represents the slope. We spoke about that in the slope video. And the b represents the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So if we go to the graph, where the line crosses the y-axis is called your y-intercept. You can know this by looking at the equation of the line, and whatever is added to or subtracted from your x is going to be your y-intercept. Okay? If you have a y-intercept that's not 0, then your line does not have a constant of proportionality. When you have a y-intercept that is 0, so there wouldn't be anything there, then there is a constant of proportionality. Right now we are focusing on what the y-intercept looks like. So if I were to tell you to graph this line, okay, if you wanted to see the y-intercept on your graph, you would have to pick an x value of 0, because the y-intercept always has an x-coordinate of 0. Always. And that's because if you look at this line, the y-axis, any point on this line has an x value of 0. So here, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 0, 0, negative 4. The x value on the y-axis is always 0. The x value on the y-axis is always 0. So if I plug 0 in here, 2 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. 1, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8. Okay? So if I were to plot these points, what I would notice is that my unstraight line, okay, would cross the y-axis at 0, 4. This is called my y-intercept. And my y-intercept is going to change depending on my lines. Some lines are going to cross the y-axis down here. Some lines are going to cross at the origin. It's all going to depend on what is added to or subtracted from my x value. Let's explore. So given the equation of the line, find the slope in the y-intercept. Okay, well, y equals mx plus b is our slope-intercept form, the only form we're learning this year. That's always going to be our slope in this particular form, and this is always going to be my y-intercept. So in this case, my slope, noted by m, is 3, and my y-intercept, noted as b, is negative 8. It's negative because there's a minus sign. As a point on my graph, it's going to be 0, negative 8, because the x value on the y-axis is always 0. Okay, if I were to look at this, my slope is negative 5. My y-intercept is 2. As a point on my graph, 0, 2 would be my y-intercept. I can keep going. My slope is 1/2. My y-intercept is negative 10 as a point on my graph. It's 0, negative 10. So go ahead and do these if you want. If not, fast forward the video a little bit. If you want to do them, pause the video, and I will put the answers up as you are doing that. Please remember that when you do your slope and your y-intercept, you have to make sure about the negatives. Given an xy chart, okay, or a list of points, we can find our y-intercept by looking for where x is 0, because the x-coordinate on the y-axis is always 0. So in this xy chart, x is 0, y is 2. That is my y-intercept. Okay, I'm going to go through and do all the y-intercepts and then go back to slope. Here, it goes to the origin. Here, it crosses at 0, 6. So when you're looking at a set of points, you're looking for the x value to be 0 to find the y-intercept. If there is no 0, look for the pattern and extend the xy chart up or down to find what would happen if x is 0. So in other words, if this wasn't here, you would know that the pattern is -3, -3, -3, -1, -1. So to get to 0, I would -1. To get to what the y value would be, I would -3. So by minusing 1, I get to 0, which is where I want to go. My x value of 0 is my y-intercept. So that would make my y-intercept 2. Extend them. If you don't need a review of slope, fast forward the video. If you need a review of slope, okay, you are looking for the change, the pattern in your y and the pattern in your x, and you're putting the pattern in your y over the pattern in your x and simplifying. You're looking for the pattern in your y, you're looking for the pattern in your x, and you're putting the pattern in your y over the pattern in your x. You're looking for the pattern in your y, you're looking for the pattern in your x, and you're putting the pattern in your x over the, pattern in your y over the pattern in your x. So all of these blue things are a review of slope for you. And the reason we're reviewing slope is because the two most important things in creating slope-intercept form or drawing a line is slope and y-intercept. And the very last thing is we're going to look at what happens when you graph lines. When you have a line and you're looking for your slope and your y-intercept, you're going to look at the line. For y-intercept, you're going to see where the line crosses the y-axis. And that is going to be your y-intercept. You're going to look at the graph to see where it crosses, and that is going to be your y-intercept. If you don't need a review of slope, stop the video. If you do need a review of slope, keep watching. To find the slope, you look at your rise. That's how much you go up, and your run, how much you go over. If you go left, that's negative. Okay? You could also find any 2 points on this line and find the difference in the y's over the difference in the x's. Here, you go up 1, so your rise is 1, and your run is 1, 2, 3. So your slope is 1 over 3.